a day that was anticipated from the minute they entered UWI. Some 3 to 5 years later, here they are in this space at this time for this moment. You're seeing on screen the marshal, and he's directing, guiding the graduands to designated seats. Everything here has been planned to perfection just to ensure less traffic issues when it is that graduands have to make it to the stage to collect their certificates or their degrees. And also, you want to ensure that each graduand gets his or her time without distraction. There are photos to take, there are relatives to cheer. They need time. And so effective planning in that order is important. You're seeing red gowns entering. Those are certificate programs, certificate and diploma programs. So that will also give you an idea of what is playing out on screen. This is the UWI presentation of graduate ceremony, the 4th of 5. So we have one more this afternoon. The faculties you're featuring now: Humanities and Education and Law. You're hearing the sweet strains of music being played by the UWI Panorama Steel Orchestra. An outstanding club on campus. In fact, one could say it is now a part of the institution in powerful ways, as is the University Singers. 2 clubs that have evolved and have institutionalized themselves in the fabric of our university. Just to give you a little bit of note about the UWI, we are an internationally recognized university rooted in the Caribbean. Since 1948, this university has provided service and leadership in its mission to advance sustainable development for the survival of the Caribbean economy and society. This proud institution has been consistently ranked among the top universities globally. And this is by the reputable ranking agency Times Higher Education. We started as a University College of London in Jamaica with only 38 medical students in 1948. And now, look at us now, an internationally respected global university with nearly 50,000 students and 5 campuses. They are Mona in Jamaica, St. Augustine in Trinidad and Tobago, Cave Hill in Barbados, and the newest on the block, 5 Islands in Antigua and Barbuda. And we have the open campus. Our graduates are coming in. You're seeing graduates from the Faculty of Humanities and Education and Law. In a little bit, we'll tell you about the Valedictorian, and And we'll give you a little bit of an idea as to who the Honorary Graduand is. In fact, let me tell you up front that that is Professor Orlando Patterson. And a little later on in the graduation, you'll hear from him as well as the valedictorian Akeelia Richards. Akeelia Richards, our valedictorian, she is a creative advocate, passionate and adventurous, just 21 years old, but she's managed to blend her love with law and the arts. Beautiful. She's from White River, Ocherius, and is the last of 6 children, having 3 sisters and 2 brothers. Both she and one of her sisters relocated to St. Catherine, and they attended Arden High School. During her time in high school, she was involved heavily in extracurricular activities such as debating, school challenge quiz, she now has a Bachelor of Laws with first-class honors. Excellent. Lots more to find out about her, and we look forward to hearing her speech shortly. And Professor Orlando Patterson, he is the Honorary Graduand. He is a Jamaican historical and cultural sociologist whose work has shed light on contemporary racial and ethnic issues. He has held faculty appointments at UWI, the London School of Economics, and he's currently the John Cowles Professor of Sociology at Harvard University. And a host of publications are listed here, and books that he would have contributed to. It speaks to the quality of the man. The graduands are being focused on here in frame. Pleased faces, happy moment, the culmination of years of hard work. They're remaining standing until the rest of the party, the graduating party, would, in this case, their fellow graduands, take their places. Smiles are shown on faces. It's just a happy place. Happy people, happy place, happy moment. Beautiful things, beautiful thing to share. And of course, parents look forward to this. Having done all they can to get their charges and their wards here, this is a moment for them to just bask. Focused, attentive, well-dressed. You are seeing the usual uniform for graduation. The females are expected to wear white dresses or white clothing, and the men wear dark clothing. You are seeing the blue hood for humanities, and we will get the description for the law shortly for you. So the law coming in now, it's black, right? So their hood is black. So humanities, blue, law, black. And you're seeing that kind of distinction now, even as persons are in the line or in the queue. You're hearing the Panorhythm Steel Orchestra in the background. They've been playing for almost an hour now, just to keep everyone entertained until the start of the function. They will continue to play until the graduands are seated. Awesome task, awesome undertaking, but they do it flawlessly every year. We host 5 graduations, and they play for every single one, standing professionally, wearing black and a touch of blue. Many of these graduands would have traveled not just within Jamaica, but from the Caribbean in a whole. UWI is a regional university and is supported by regional territories. So you can appreciate that we have a cross-section of cultures here at the UWI. And in fact, that's one of our unique features. The UWI is also an activist university. It has been pivotal in every aspect of Caribbean development. It has been at the center of all efforts to improve the well-being of the Caribbean people. Through its research and policy advice to governments and the private sector, it continues to contribute to the region's stability and the region's development. I'm just loving the smiles. There's just something about a smile, you know. It's contagious. And I find myself smiling as I'm looking at the smiling faces as well. Graduands are taking their seat. We are now expecting the PhD graduands to make an entrance at some point. And those are distinct. The Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, their gowns are scarlet Panama gown of special tropical style with longer and fuller sleeves than that of the master's gown, with sleeves lined and piped black, pointed with facings and yoke piped black. Hood, full shape, is black Panama and fully lined with red, and as bound as with the master's hood. It's also completed with black velvet mortarboard with black tassel. The mortarboard is actually that little hat that you see, the square hat that sits on the head of graduands. So that's the mortarboard. And the tassel is that string or ornament that is hanging from the side of the hat. Graduands are coming in at a pace. First of 3 processions. You're now seeing the Graduand's procession coming up shortly. The academic procession. And finally, the Chancellor's procession. Often we speak about great institutions, but one has to acknowledge that the Graduands make us great. That's why we focus so much on them and we give them the spotlight. Because they are our networks, they are our product, but they are also our networks. They will go into the world to form partnerships and movements that will also impact the UWI. And on that note, our network as an institution of alumni, with a network of more than 237,000 alumni, there is no sector of the Caribbean society, including the highest levels of government and business, in which our graduates are not found. Over 25 have risen to become heads of government or heads of state. And countless are leaders of all other professions, locally, regionally, and internationally. We also have 2 of 3 Nobel laureates of Caribbean descent with direct ties to the university. Mona alumnus, Sir Derek Walcott, Nobel Prize for Literature in 1992, and former Vice Chancellor Sir Arthur Lewis, Nobel Prize for Economics in 1979. Rich history, lot of things to be proud of. It embodies, it's the embodiment of what we do and the legacy that these graduates carry. We're seeing the entrance now of the PhD graduands, the closing of the door signaling the end of the undergraduate procession. Some of the marshals guiding and conversing. Faces of graduates. Concentration. And I'm often minded to say that you're seeing very little cell phone engagement, one or two. But in a society where now we are so immersed in technology, everyone is focused otherwise, just basking in the moment. There's a cell phone, just getting a view. Smiles. This is the inside of the graduation tent. You're looking at the platform, beautifully decorated, and you're seeing all the flags of the contributing territories. The marshal comes in. She's bringing in the graduands for the PhD. Look at those faces. Years of investment. But they've done it. Celebrating today with family and friends and the university at large. They have now taken their places. We're still hearing the strains of music being played by the Honorary Steel Orchestra. Shortly we will hear a different tune that will signal the arrival of the academic procession, and the academic procession has certain features. First you will see the marshals, and then the Guild of Students, members of the Guild of Students, members of the UWI Alumni Association, the Jamaica chapter, and the University and Campus Council, as well as members of the faculty, members of faculty as well. So you will see those groupings coming within the academic procession. Hearing a break from the steel pan. From the steel pan, correction. And awaiting the next step or the next procession here, which is going to be the academic procession. A view of the support system. Look at them. What a moment. Right? So you're seeing a bird's eye view from inside the tent, and just a body of support that is in that tent at this moment, supporting their loved ones and cheering them on, no doubt, when the time comes. an emotional moment for so many. We've seen in the media recently that for some, husbands and wives are graduating together. Families, cousins and cousins, uncles and nieces and nephews. You're hearing the sound of the university singers, and they will take the stage shortly. Like the Panorhythm Steel Orchestra, they are a part of the fabric of UWI, known regionally and internationally for their amazing artistry. University singers performing. University singers performing the song Strive. And the sound that we are about to begin another procession. We will await the opening of the doors. Of course, this next procession is not coming in through the front door, but will be coming in through the side doors and coming all the way up to the corridors. And this, we're seeing, led by the Marshal, is the academic procession. Seeing members of faculties, Professor Donna Hope at the front. We know that face from her various engagements we are seeing mostly academic staff, not seeing any. Yes, we're seeing a member of the Guild of Students in that red gown. So we're seeing a representative from students here, as well as members of the academic staff. Of course, in the tent, you can imagine some persons are calling out to them because they have been in their lives for a long time. They're taking their place to the left of the stage. Moment of great pride for the UWI as we focus on those who give of themselves in our classrooms, in our offices in various ways, shape and form. The announcer is now at the microphone and we'll listen to her.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin our graduation ceremony, I would like to remind you of a few important matters. Could you please place your cell phones on silent now? Please remember that the university provides an official photographer who will take photographs while the graduates are receiving their certificates. Graduates, please be advised that instructions to access your photographs taken during this ceremony will be sent to you via email in due course. No unauthorized persons will be allowed to access the presentation area during the ceremony. The university shares in your pride at this graduation, but we appeal for restraint when the names are called so that all graduates may be able to hear their names clearly. Graduates, you and your guests are expected to remain for the duration of the ceremony. Please keep the aisles clear at all times. Emergency medical service is available at the front and at the undercroft and at the rear of the tent. As you will have observed, exit signs are clearly marked. You are asked to note the location of the nearest exit. In case of any emergency, the ushers will guide you to the nearest assembly point. At the end of this ceremony, we ask family and friends to remain seated until the graduates' procession has exited the tent. The area will be needed to be immediately prepared for our next graduation ceremony. We are therefore appealing to graduates, families, friends, to assist us by leaving the tent as quickly as possible. You are welcome to celebrate outside. We wish you a very enjoyable ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem and remain standing for the Chancellor's procession.
The university singers will lead us in the singing of the national anthem.
Bless, O land, guard us with thy mighty hand, keep us us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defenders, grant you wisdom from above. Justice, truth, be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us the weak to cherish. Give us vision lest we perish. Lord, and send us Heavenly Father, the true wisdom from above. Justice, truth, be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love.
The announcer had asked that all persons remain standing so that the Chancellor party can make its entrance. You're hearing the sounds now of the Chancellor's procession. You will see the Chief Marshal, the Campus Registrar, Deans of Faculties, President of the UWI Mona Alumni Chapter, and that's the Jamaica chapter rather, University Bursar, Public Orator, and University Registrar, Deputy Principals and Pro-Vice Chancellors, the Campus Principal, Honorary Graduand, Professor Orlando Patterson, Vice Chancellor, Chairman of the Mona Campus Council, and the Mace Bearer. We are also seeing the Honourable Minister Favour Williams, who's made an entrance as well. This is the Chancellor's procession. We're seeing the Mace Bearer, followed by the Chancellor. Wonderful golden gown, or golden robe. The mace is a ceremonial staff, and it is generally used in processions such as Parliament and other formal academic occasions. The mace signals the official start of the ceremony, so you will notice that the Mace Bearer, in this case the Guild President, the Guild President of the UWI Mona campus, she will ensure that all are present on the platform, that the Chancellor would have taken his place before she placed the mace in its holder. Once the mace takes its position, it signals the official start of the ceremony. Thereafter, the Chancellor will make the address. And they're coming in from the back of the room, all the way up. It's a long walk, all the way up to the platform at the front. Credit to so many of these members. They've had to do all 5 graduations, and many of them have also been to other graduations across the UWI. Mona is the last of the graduation series, I suspect. So they have done the rounds. Our Mace Bearer beautiful color of blue there, that's our Chancellor. We have gotten to the platform and she waits until he takes his place. He is now in position and she has positioned the mace. She will now take her place. My name is Roger Bent. We end our prelude here. The next voice you'll hear is the Chancellor's.
Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Class of 2022, welcome to your graduation ceremony. Chairman of Campus Council, Dr. the Honourable Earl Jarrett, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the UWI Mona Campus, Professor Dale Weber, Deputy Principal, Professor Ian Boxill, Pro Vice Chancellors and Principals, University Registrar, Mr. Maurice Smith, University Bursar, Mrs. Andrea McNish, Deputy Campus Principal, Mr. Jonathan Archie, Honorary Graduand, Professor the Honourable Orlando Patterson, Leader of the Opposition, Senator Mark Golding, Minister of Education and Youth, the Honourable Mrs. Favour Williams, Senator Mrs. Donna Scott Motley, Senator Miss Gabriella Morris, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the academic staff, officers and members of the university, distinguished alumni, valedictorian Akeelia Richards, and graduating class of 2022, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're as excited and pleased to be here this morning as I have after 2 years of distance graduation, which in fact is exactly what graduation is not supposed to be. Graduation is a time when you get together with your fellow classmates and celebrate your wonderful achievements. My heartiest congratulations to each one of you of this class of 2022. You have a special distinction, and that is that you completed the majority of your programs during the COVID pandemic. I commend you all for staying the course. I know it could not have been easy. It is now time to celebrate that hard work, and it is truly my honor and pleasure to greet you here today. First, I would like you to thank your loved ones who have made this journey with you. Your parents, your partners, spouses, children. They have been there while you burned the midnight oil to complete assignments and prepare for exams. You shared, in most cases, the confinement of COVID and faced the many frustrations that came with that. This is a collective achievement for many of you, and I urge you to find ways to express your gratitude to your greatest supporters and cheerleaders. Even as we celebrate your accomplishments, the question becomes, what next? Over the past 2.5 years, we have seen our world change. In 2020, the COVID pandemic showed us how much could and could not be done online, and the important role that information and communication technology plays in our daily lives. Our university pivoted to emergency online teaching, and I applaud the leadership and staff at every level for the tremendous work that they did to ensure that you completed your programs and that you are graduating today. Give them a round of applause. We saw the resilience of the virus as it mutated. We saw the reaction of global citizens, resistance as well as willingness to embrace the science and the vaccine in order to turn the tide against the virus. This mixed response has led in part to our new normal, a cautious coexistence with COVID, and the fervent hope that the worst of the pandemic is now behind us. The pandemic laid bare the social inequalities in our societies, and governments around the world and at home in the Caribbean have been grappling on how to recover from the negative, unexpected impact on our national economies. The economic recovery must take into account social issues, and our university and our graduates must play an important role in how well your community and your country thrive in this new normal. Then in February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, two countries that we don't pay much attention to in this part of the world, as they're so far from us. But this has far-reaching implications for global supply chains in our highly globalized world, and we've already seen some of it. How well small developing countries, particularly those in the Caribbean, that are so dependent on imports and fossil fuels, cope with the possibility of food insecurity, rising prices of basic items, and increased unhappiness, uneasiness, and deprivation among its citizens will depend on the ability of the governments to apply the principles of democracy in managing our countries. You, our graduates, represent every facet of Caribbean societies. The responsibility for fostering those democratic principles are now in your hands. That is not to say that you must undertake a role in government, unless, of course, that is your ambition. Higher education plays a role in the democratization of societies by encouraging graduates to be critical thinkers, to be objective in assessing the information available, and be open to new schools of thought, in the hope that that information will be used for the advancement of the societies in which you exist. Graduation is a time when those of us on this side of the ceremony view with enormous pride the procession of graduates across the many disciplines, the wondrous gathering of brilliance representing so much promise for the betterment of our societies and economies. You have much responsibility to carry forward, but I have faith in you, in your determination to make a difference. I have alluded to the challenges that you faced to complete your programs and make it to this day. You are strong, resilient, determined, and I am so proud of every one of you. Many may be thinking of how you can create a career from the degrees that you will receive today. What are the options available to you? Traditional careers have transformed and now encompass so many exciting areas. Many of the professions today did not exist 10 years ago, and many of the jobs today may not exist in 10 years' time. Entities such as Forbes magazine and the World Economic Forum have been tracking trends in careers and making projections of areas that are fast-growing with high earning potentials. Some of these are expected: information technology, healthcare, financial management, data analytics, to mention a few. You need to be aware of the fact that your education gives you the potential to do whatever you make up your mind is best for you. Keep looking into the future and try to understand where this world is going and how you are going to fit in to that jigsaw puzzle. I am confident that you will do well once you keep looking forward and constantly be curious and searching of what opportunities lie ahead for you. What I ask is that whatever you do in the future must be impactful, done to a high standard, with commitment to advancing not only your interests, but those of the wider community as well. I urge you to take care of yourself. Often we forget the importance of taking care of our own health. In today's operating environment, mental health as well as physical well-being are critically important. Today, we have an honorary graduand who will inspire you. He was a trailblazer and is a trailblazer, a thought leader, an innovator, a disruptor of the best kind, who has contributed, to improving society through his respective discipline and field of endeavor. Take your lead from his example and be a positive influence to all that you do in the future. Give back to your alma mater. There are many ways that you can do this that are not financial. Be mentors to younger students. Serve as adjunct faculty or technical advisors in a specific field. There are multiple ways and opportunities to contribute to ensuring that the high standard and reputation of the University of the West Indies is maintained. Whatever you do and wherever you are, the Alumni Office will be reaching out to you. Remain connected with your class and with your university, and do not forget where all of this started. This leg of your academic journey is over. You are now the lights from the West. Go forth and show the rest of the world the brilliance of this region, which we are so proud of. Congratulations to all of you and my warmest good wishes. Thank you. We are met today in order that we may mark by a formal ceremony the entry of certain of our members into the company of graduates and the academic achievement of others. As a university, we're an academic society of undergraduates and doctors, and we follow the academic tradition in the pursuit of knowledge and the encouragement, purposes which are laid down in the preamble to the Royal Charter, by which we have been granted the powers needful for the prosecution of our affairs. In pursuing these aims, Our members advance from time to time to a higher standing in the academic community, and it is proper that as a body we should celebrate their achievement. It is marked by the granting of a degree, diploma, license, or certificate, and we rejoice with all our graduates in their advancement.
Chancellor, I now ask the public orator, Dr. Livingston White, to present Professor Orlando Patterson, whom the Senate and the Council of the University have been pleased to recommend for the award of the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
Chancellor, it was British novelist Eric Arthur Blair, better known by his pen name George Orwell, who said, "The most effective way to destroy people is to deny and obliterate their own understanding of their history." Well, allow me to introduce a scholar who must be invincible because he has shattered any bond of limitation society may have placed on a young black man from the Caribbean. Chancellor, I present historical and cultural sociologist, Professor the Honorable Orlando Patterson. Born in 1940 in the parish of Westmoreland to parents Almina Morris and Charles Patterson, the young Patterson has since become an intellectual point in whom both history and the present intersect. The past student of Kingston College earned his Bachelor of Science degree in economics from this very institution when we were the University College of the West Indies, and later his PhD in sociology from the London School of Economics. This John Coles professor and chair in sociology at Harvard University previously held faculty appointments at both the University of the West Indies and the London School of Economics, authoring several books and academic papers, as well as columns in the New York Times, Time Magazine, Newsweek, The Public Interest, The New Republic, and The Washington Post. Professor Patterson has also served in various public roles, which include Special Advisor for Social Policy and Development to Jamaica's Prime Minister Michael Manley in the 1970s, founding member of Cultural Survival, an advocacy group for the rights of indigenous peoples, board member of Freedom House, which promotes freedom and democracy worldwide, and chairman of the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission, tasked with offering guidance towards improving the Jamaican education system. In writing his story, Professor Patterson has established for himself a culture of greatness, with professional associations to include Fellow at the American Academy of Arts and Sciences 1991 to present, Ernest W. Burgess Fellow at the American Academy of Political and Social Science, and member of the American Sociological Association. Professor Patterson is the recipient of several awards, including the National Book Award for Nonfiction, which he won in 1991 for his book on freedom, the Distinguished Contribution to Scholarship Award of the American Sociological Association, and the Anisfield Wolf Book Award for Lifetime Achievement. Having been continuously recognized globally for his outstanding achievements, Professor Patterson holds honorary degrees from several universities around the world. Chancellor, today, even in our honorary, history repeats itself as he's about to receive yet another award. I invite you, by the authority vested in you by the Council and Senate of the University of the West Indies, to confer upon Orlando Patterson the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me by the Council and Senate of the University of the West Indies, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa of this university. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Chancellor, Mr. Robert Bermudez, Chairman, Campus Council, Dr. the Honorable Earl Jarrett, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of UWI Mona, Professor Dale, Deputy Principal, Professor Ian Boxill, Pro Vice Chancellors and Principals, University Registrar, Dr. Maurice Smith, University Bursar, Mrs. Andrea McNeish, Deputy Campus Registrar, Mr. Jonathan Archie, and Leader of the Opposition, Senator Mark Golding, Minister of Education and Youth, the Honorable Mrs. Fayval Williams, Senator Mrs. Donna Scott Motley, Senator Mrs. Gabriela Morris, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the academic staff, officers and members of the university community, distinguished alumni, Valedictorian Akeelia Richards, graduating class of 2022, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is really my honor and great pleasure to join others in welcoming you, the graduating class, to the company, not just of educated men and women, but to the top 10% of educated persons in our society. But what does it mean to be educated? It means, first, at the very least, you have come to know how much you still do not know. That is certainly a bracing humility I experience in my own life every day. However, it also means that you've acquired the capacity for lifelong learning, the means to overcome the recognized gaps in your knowledge, while partaking as much as you can of the rich intellectual and cultural heritage of mankind in general, and the rich culture and knowledge of the Caribbean in particular, to which you were introduced at this great institution. It means, my young friends, that you'll see knowledge, whatever your field, not simply as a tool to increase your life skills and your material comforts, which are fine, I'm not knocking that, but as an inexhaustible source of enlightenment for your growth as persons, as good, caring human beings, as people who find the most important meanings not in things, but in ideas and relationships. Relationships with your family, your friends, your co-workers, your fellow nationals. Above all, being an educated West Indian must mean that you will cherish the ideal that our slave ancestors most valued, your freedom, your freedom. Not simply the political freedom that we in the Caribbean are fortunate to enjoy, unlike what's happening in so many other parts of the world, not excluding the United States, but the personal freedoms to fulfill your dreams and the freedoms from want and fear, especially the fear of violence. These last two freedoms, from want and the freedom from fear, are the ones I hope you'll most consider at this moment in your personal development, and speaking particularly to my fellow Jamaicans in our nation's troubled history. They are deeply interconnected. Your history and your nation's history. Your moment now and our nation's difficult, trying moment now, made worse by COVID. The lack of freedom from misery and fear experienced by the mass of our fellow West Indians accounts for the violence and human trauma that we live with each day, either directly or indirectly. I can tell you from my study of freedom in history that until every one of you, especially the majority of you here who are Jamaicans, is free from want and misery, from hopelessness and fear, none of us will be truly free personally. Your personal freedom and fear are one of a piece with theirs. Or as our wise country folk in Jamaica like to say, it take one hand to wash the other. My fellow West Indians, and especially my fellow Jamaicans, your country, for all its problems and limited resources, and your university, for all its fiscal challenges, have invested heavily in you. And it is now time to deliver in whatever field, whatever level of learning you can, however small, however great, however distinctive. It is not too early to ask, how committed are you to ameliorating the economic, social, and above all, the moral crisis we face as a nation? A nation in which unattached young gangsters are butchering fellow gangsters for want of nothing better to do or to imagine for themselves. In which sons are killing fathers, brothers are killing sisters, school children are killing each other. In a world such as ours, on the brink of social calamity, you have to be more than simply lawyers providing skills for your clients, more than simply teachers who teach from 8 to 3, more than simple lawyers and doctors of philosophy who write books for other doctors. You must become active citizens, engage in the transformation of your society, in the restoration of its battered social and moral compass. You are our next generation of leaders. You are our only hope. So the question I'm going to leave with you is, what will you do about it? Today, tomorrow, in the days of your life hereafter. How will you be giving back? How will you be giving back? May God bless you all.
The university singers will now perform.
holy Armageddon.
One love.
So when the man comes, there will be no doom.
One heart.
Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel
Chancellor, the persons whose names will be called studied in the University of the West Indies, and having fulfilled the requirements of the University of the West Indies, beg leave to be presented to you and to the Senate of the University by the representatives of their respective faculties as Bachelor of Arts, or Bachelor of Education, or Bachelor of Fine Arts, or Licentiate, or as holders of diplomas of the University of the West Indies. Sir, the Dean, Faculty of Humanities and Education, Professor Sylvia Cohenberg.
Sir, my colleagues and I ask you to receive, as graduate members of our society, these persons present who, having fulfilled the requirements of the university, have been admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, or Bachelor of Education, or Bachelor of Fine Arts, or Licentiate of this university.
Authority vested in me, I receive these persons whose names are about to be called, and those who are unable to attend as graduate members of our society.
Sir, for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, I present Candice Allen with first-class honors. Michelle Allen. Monifa Ashley. Tamoy Ashman. Andre Banton. Kemoy Atkinson. Crystal Bell. Marcine Bell. Carrie K. Bennett with first-class honors. Gerano Brown. Katora Stanley Bent. Natalia Brown with first-class honors. Javid Bryan with first class honors. Ashley Campbell. Yannick Burrows. Avery Campbell. Jamila Kaur. Jodine Carpenter. Timothy Cawley. Nicaro Koch with first class honors. Ashley Coombs. Kristen Francis with first class honors. Dana Davey. Chaneli DiMercado. Tajana Geddes. Shimoni Chamberlain. Sanaa Douglas. Shantae East. Annika Edwards. Kayla Ellis. Janelle Francis. Torian Ellis with first class honors. Rashid Essen. Glanisha Ewers with first class honors. Shaniel Hetley. Travis Flemings with first class honors. Tamara Fraser. Shajani Gums with first class honors. Brianna Gale with first class honors. Elise Israel. Javon James with first class honors. Jodia Givens. Lacey Johnson. Rena Gordon. Shante Gordon. Karine Lloyd. Daima Hall. Kayla Hamilton. Kiara Henney. Shanoy Henry. Brittany Hines with first class honors. Shamar Hurd. Danae Hyatt. Danique Irons. Deborah Langley. Jadia Latry with first class honors. Ashley Nicole Lawrence. Michael Lane. Tanisha Littlejohn. Chanel Llewellyn. Danielle Lord Smith. Marion Mirage. Nicola Millwood. Amani Morgan. Gerard Morris Seeley. Tafario Gilvey. Titsan Palmer. Shari Porter. John Mark Prince. Sophia Poirier. Amanda Reed with first class honors. Lucianne Reed. Chanel Reed. Corey Robinson. Kyle McLaughlin. Annetta Shannon. Devine Smith with first class honors. Jason Smith. Leroy Smith. Antonio Spence. Abigail Tennant. Janelle McFarlane. Rachel Tim. Sunil Tolan. Liana Webster. Akeem White. Anthony White. Ricky Ann Witter. Kellyanne Wright. Shanice Nita. Delissa McLean. Noel Fox with first class honors. Alexis Williams. Javon Gordon with first class honors. Cody Ann Jackson. Latavia Belnavis. Nicolette Brown. Victoria Risden. Danielle Harrison with first class honors. Javon White. Nikhil Campbell. Shakira Francis. Jody K. Miles with first class honors. Kashona Atkins with first class honors. Dimonique Francis. Abigail Barrett. Anna K. Wright. Nadira Spence with first class honors. Kayla Williams. Christ Aram. Next. Edward Mutunga with first class honors. Rohanna Ludford. Adriana Grenade. Shamon Gordon. Shaquille Benti. Akeem Hines. Ashley Brady. Phaedra Williams. Brittany Adams. Tony Shea Gray with first class honors. Kiona Young. Pete Campbell. Shane Green. Regina Campbell. Antoinette Hines. Deshaun Lacroix. Ashley Philp. Jody Ann Maitland with first class honors. Rhea Robinson. Chris Ann Thomas with first class honors. Zara Jane Coleman. Zacia Morris. Tiana Samuels. Tiffany Hutchinson. Alia Graham. Tasha J. Rose. Jodianne Small with first class honors. Nicole Edwards. Shakira Bryan. Shankale Campbell. Charla Williams. Noel Bell. Julianne Longman. Shantae Foster. Tashna Neal. Marvelyn Dawkins. Princina Nevins. Shauna K. Wright. Tashawn Williams. Sir, for the degree of Bachelor of Education, I present Mishoni Archer. Shani Brown. Jamoy Crooks. Sedon Dias. Martina Fong. Kayan Harvey with first class honors. Crystal Lewis with first class honors. Shinny Matthews Fraser. Vanessa McKenzie. Romel Messam. Ashley Powell. Shanique Powell. Tamara Ross McCallum with first class honors. Suzanne Small with first class honors. Romel Stewart Gordon. Tajay Henry. Samoya Belnavis. Sir, from the Open Campus, I present Shakitha Scarlett Wilson with first class honors. Alexia Brown with first class honors. Aisha Dixon. Kadeen Deans Fox with first class honors. Keisha Lambert with first class honors. Anne-Marie Park. Sir, for the degree of Bachelor of Education, I present Janeve Watson. Sir, for the Associate of Science, I present Jasana Riley. Sir, for the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts, I present Davario Brown. Ajua Davidson. Chanel Dawson. Hassani Dixon. Lisan Gale with first class honors. Celindian Goodchild. Brittany Hennes. Nyron Lewis. Ariana Lynn with first class honors. Samik Nelson. Soleil Sinclair. Zandria Stennett. Sir, for the licentiate, I present Wilhelmus Berrybe with honors. Julius Kateng with distinction. Polycarp Kulu with honors. Prafulkulu with distinction. Narciso Madeira with distinction. Gabriel Mondo with distinction. Ansent Mutunga with honors. Adrianus Nessi with honors. Michael Ngui with honors. Francis Ntuka with distinction. Michael Njoka with distinction. Ranjit Soreng with honors. Agapit Surin with honors. Johnson Taliban with distinction. Sumit Terke with honors. John Toyley with distinction. Vinotopo with distinction. John Vianney Turia Singura.
Sir, the Dean, Faculty of Law, Professor Shazida Ali.
Sir, my colleagues and I ask you to receive as graduate members of our society these persons present who, having fulfilled the requirements of the university, have been admitted to bachelor's degrees of this university.
By the authority vested in me, I receive these persons whose names are about to be called, and those who are unable to be here, as graduate members of our society.
Sir, for the degree of Bachelor of Laws, I present Shannon Allen. Ruth Barkley. Stephanie Barnes. Wesleyan Barracks. Shane Beaumont. Cherise Benjamin. Christina Blake. Natasha Boswell Edwards. Shamar Bryan. Jordan Burton. Tamoy Campbell. Najeel Cato. Ravel Coke. Rakisha Kohli. Fiona Da Costa. Annika Daly. Ramon Davis. Taylor Ann Davis. Amy Dunkley. Denise DeVerney. Rachel Ellis. Ronaldo Everett. Anik Falconer. Sydney Fraser with first class honors. Danielle Gordon. Topaz Graham. Onela Grant. Joshua Guinness Brown with first class honors. Jana Lee Henry. Lisa K. Henry with first class honors. Carrie Ann Hutchinson. Monique Jackson. Danielle Johnson. Natalia Foster. Kyle Jones. Ketra Loy Kennedy. Tiffany King with first class honors. Lauren Less. Donovan Lewis. Sanjay Lug. Shanice McAlpin. Janessa McFarlane with first class honors. Amber Joy McCain. Michelle McLean. Tion McLeod. Bradley Medwinter. Morgan Lee Miller. Ashley Kelly. Delicia Brown. Abibi Maguel. Angel Moody Henry. Duvon Morris. Ayoka Miles. Alia Myrie with first class honors. Chanel Nelson. Christopher Nicholas. Michael Palmer. Brianna Lee Prince. Julian Redwood Johnson. Akeelia Richards with first class honors. Ronaldo Richards with first class honors. Ticia Robb. Danella Roberts. Ruth Ann Roberts. Ashley Rosen with first class honors. Sage Sadler. Rihanna Scott. Shanae Simmons. Catherine Smith. Octavia Smith. Sarah Smith. Akeelia Southwell with first-class honors. Janicia St. Hill with first-class honors. Trudy Ann Sterling. Darian Street with first-class honors. Roger Uter. Tony J. Valentine. Roshana White. Cassia Walker. Christina Williams. Tiana Kelly. DeAndrea Thompson. Shamoya Winter. Adaja Miller. Jeff Simmons. O'Shea Van Riel. Daniela Woodbine. Kamisha Harrison. Lenore Young. Keandra Wellington. Jamal Gordon. Caitlin Swaby. Hassani Lyle. Shakira Scott. Josiah Emo. Gabrielle McCormack. Tanisha Miranda with first-class honors. Sabrina Dixon. Regina Street Silvera. Roche Gordon. Tishana Reynolds. Grace Parillon. Brianna Bell. Janelle Smith. Kwasi Makonnen. Nivea Samuels. Chantel Daly. Mishka McCarthy. Codia Smith. Ernestine Sellers. Tahira Campbell. Jonalise Rollins. Tashika Thomas. Chad Rattray. Michelle Richards. Sharianne Henry. Tatiana Robertson. Patrick Bingham. Javonna Bruce. Michaela Moore. Shadrika Simpson. Joshua Page. Tanisha Nelson. Sir, from the Cave Hill campus, I present John Cato. Denisha Henry with first class honors.
Sir, for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, I present Nikisha Campbell.
I now call on the valedictorian, Ms. Akeelia Richards.
Chancellor, Mr. Robert Bermudez, Chairman Campus Council, Dr. the Honorable Earl Jarrett, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of the UWI Mona, Professor Dale Webber, and his wife, Professor Mona Webber, Deputy Principal, Professor Ian Boxill, Pro-Vice Chancellors and Principals, University Registrar, Dr. Maurice Smith, University Bursar, Mrs. Andrea McNeish, Deputy Campus Registrar, Mr. Jonathan Archie, Honorary Graduate, Professor the Honorable Orlando Patterson, Leader of the Opposition, Mark Golding, Minister of Education and Youth, the Honorable Mrs. Favour Williams, Senator Mrs. Donna Scott Motley, Senator Ms. Gabriella Morris, graduates of the class of 2022, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the academic staff, officers, and members of the university community, distinguished alumni, the luminous graduating class of 2022, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good day. There is a light that is rising from out of the west, and proud bearers of that light are we. What is this light we speak of? Light, the noun, is the natural agent that stimulates sight and makes things visible. Light, the verb, is to illuminate, to make something start burning, to ignite. Light, the adjective, is having a considerable or sufficient amount of natural light. We, the graduates of this morning's ceremony, have a limited knowledge of science, but we have experienced these three forms of light and are now the luminaries of the University of the West Indies. Our journeys began, perhaps, from the mere light of our laptop or phone screen when we received our acceptance letters. Little did we know that this prestigious institution would become the natural agent that would stimulate and guide our sight for years to come. For all of us, the University of the West Indies made our dreams visible, and it gave us insight into a whole new world. We were now immersed into a new environment, away from home, living on hall, learning and embracing different cultures. March 2020 began the second phase of our journey. We were still first years, just really beginning to enjoy our university experience. Albeit, after marching with pride in the homecoming parade and experiencing the hype of band launch, we were just about ready to jump carnival around the ring road. But before we could, the lights were off, the lecture theaters were empty, and the halls were hollow. We were back home. We were now challenged to shine our lights even brighter than before, to connect, upload, keep the backgrounds quiet, and remember now to mute your mic. And that we did. Lecture theaters became Blackboard Collaborate, if not black holes. Parties became Instagram Lives, and clubs and societies became Zoom sessions and breakout rooms. And though this seemed daunting, this was us taking and transforming our own light, learning to bend but not break. So we joined our classes from the comfort of our beds, in the kitchen, at work, or even on our way home. We lit a match wherever we were. On one hand, we were the guinea pigs, the first to feel like a fresher for our entire university experience. The first to have never experienced a UE carnival, Medlaw Social, the first to have to wrestle with an exam for 24 hours. Online elections, the first to have returned to the 10-4 exams, and so many other firsts. If only we knew what was to come, perhaps we would have relaxed in the law lounge a little longer, lime at levels, or simply socialized with our peers by the UMed tree. Nevertheless, on the other hand, we were the innovators. We were the first to have forged friendships despite having only few face-to-face interactions with our peers. The first to have developed relationships and mentorships with our lecturers and tutors despite only meeting them through Blackboard and Zoom. We were the first to perhaps have studied online with our friends as opposed to camping out at the libraries. Graduands, I know many tears were shed for the reading of this degree. And so I dare say, if we have survived this journey, we can make it through anything. We were the instigators. We are the innovators. And now, as we take a new leap into the future, we will continue to be the illuminators. So, as we enter our third phase, for some of us, the final, and for some, a transition, we have earned our title as luminaries. We now go forth to inspire and influence others within each of our own spheres and the broader world. We are 1 degree hotter. And again, whether we decide to enter the working world to further our studies or to simply take a break, we deserve it. We will have that light wherever we go. For we are faculties of language. Yes, we struggled through language argument and critical reading and writing. From our in-depth reading and briefing of cases, law teacher versus Lexis, and the Oscola citations, to our 2,500-word essays, code red on Turnitin, to our MLA and APA citations. Hats off to the Faculty of Law and the Faculty of Humanities and Education. We did it, Joe. We are the light, an exemplary symbol of our experiences on campus, or hope in the midst of a pandemic, or innovation, or reflectivity, and or togetherness. We are not alone, for we have now joined fellow alums of the noble institution of the West Indies, ranking in the top 1.5% of best universities of the world. My fellow graduates, as we leave today, let us commit to shining even brighter as ambassadors of the light that is rising from out of the west. For proud bearers of that light are we. I thank you.
Sir, I now call on Professor Marcia Roy, Director, Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of higher degrees.
Sir, I present to you these members of our society who having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been awarded postgraduate diplomas or have been admitted to master's degree, and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on those persons whose names are about to be called, and those who are unable to attend, postgraduate diplomas and master's degrees of this university, and recognize their advancement in our society.
Sir, for the postgraduate diploma in education, I present. We have a husband and wife team, ladies and gentlemen. Virginie Lawson and Shane Lawson. Anna K. Magnus Watson. Shanoy Morgan with distinction. Julian Swaby. Kith Joy Watson. Sir, for the Master of Arts, I present from the Open Campus, Shara Lee Evans with distinction. Malik Yuan with distinction. From the Mona Campus, sir, for the Master of Arts, I present Olivia Allen. Julian Baker Francis with distinction. Diane Bartley. Natasha Bowen Brown. Monica Campbell. Carlene Crary Cameron. Linda Crichton with distinction. Stacey Cunningham with distinction. Siobhan Davidson. Yanika Davis. Shanae Donaldson with distinction. Priscilla Duhaney. Beverly Eckerson Birth with distinction. Giselle Fagan. Rashane Ferron with distinction. Travis Gale. Jesse Golden. Sashana Gordon. Kesia Halstead Brown. Andre Hardy. Adassa Harris. Ricardo Holness. Nakia Hilton. Denise Jackson Levy. Judith Jagan. Pinks Leverage. Sophia Lewis with distinction. Marva Line with distinction. Narda Lyons. Nicole McCain. Georgette McGlashan. Anna K. McIntosh. Glenise McIntosh. Jerome Morant with distinction. Nordia Morgan. Senator Gabriela Morris. Amar Neal with distinction. Ashley O'Neill with distinction. Janelle Parnell. Latoya Sadler with distinction. Othelia Service. Jodianne Shaw. Shauna Spence, with distinction. Christopher Stoner, with distinction. Keisha White. Sharon White Brown. Ramona Williams. From the open campus, sir, for the Masters of Education, I present Todd Stanley. Shalane Wint Grant. From the Mona campus, sir, for the Master of Education, I present Andre Adman, with distinction. Shanasha Anderson. Mikika Anglin. Peter Gay Bailey Hamilton, with distinction. Darcia Barnaby McKinson. Kea Belay Black. Janae Birthright, with distinction. Patrick Budden. Andrika Borland, with distinction. Leovikova Leovia Brackett. Kadeen Briscoe. Dion Brooks. Trisha Brooks Wookman. Devonay Chambers. Kristen Cheddar, with distinction. Celia Christian. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another couple. Adian Clark and Abigail Clark. distinction. Vanessa Daly Russell with distinction. Renee Davidson with distinction. Kirk Davis. Alwyn Denton with distinction. Janelle Donaldson with distinction. Dewena Duhaney with distinction. Tamika Edwards with distinction. Kerry Francis. Sharon Fife. Shalimar Goodwin Richards with distinction. Lisanne Gordon Rainford with distinction. Trishana Green. Iserene Guthrie Taylor with distinction. Alicia Harrison McPherson. Jana Horton Cummings. Carol Haynes. Tamika Henry. Alex Heckburn. Denisha Howell with distinction. Jacqueline Hunter. Kenisha Huslin. Carrie Hutchinson. Janelle Jackson. Kristen Gray Karen Ranga. Serene Jackson. Tabitha James with distinction. Kenise Jones Blake with distinction. Felicia Legister. Adele Lewis. Megan McHugh with distinction. Jeffrey Mackenzie. Curse Patrice McFarlane. Kerisha Millijan Gokul. Detricia Ming. Natalie Peart. Trudy Ann Phillip. Carrie Ann Porter Parma with distinction. Natalie Powell Campbell with distinction. Carrie Ann Prince with distinction. Peter Kin Pusey. Denise Reed with distinction. Lucian Reed with distinction. Nashia Reed. Marsha Rodan. Gadisha Richards. Samantha Richards with distinction. Shanthana Richardson. Anique Robinson with distinction. Tiffany Small with distinction. Kayan Smith with distinction. Claudette Taylor. Shania Thomas York. Tashima Thomas. Samantha Walters with distinction. Kathy Wanlis with distinction. Lakeisha Witter. Janice White Crary with distinction. Daronic Williams. Julian Wright with distinction. Sir, for the Masters of Library and Information Studies, I present LaSonia Grant, Jillian Tingling, Sir, for the Master of Science Media Management, I present Nastasia McFarlane. Janae Murray. From the Mona campus, sir, for the Masters of Law, Commercial and Corporate Law, I present Chantal Bennett. Tanisha Cunningham. Dwayne Tabana. Sir, for the Master of Law, I present Christopher Orumba. Sir, for the Masters of Law, Public Law, I present Peter K. Campbell. Sir, for the degree of Bachelors of Law, I present Afrika Stevens.
Sir, I now call on Professor Audrey Henry Lee, Pro Vice Chancellor, Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of higher degrees.
Sir, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been admitted to the degree of Doctor of Education and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called, and those who are unable to be here, the degree of Doctor of Education of this university and recognize their advancement in our society.
From the open campus, sir, the Doctor of Education, I present Cheryl Daly, Educational Leadership.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Congratulations.
Winsome Mills Neal, Educational Leadership.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Congratulations. Well done.
Sir, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called, and those unable to attend, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of this university and recognize their advancement in our society.
From the Caville campus, sir, for the Doctor of Philosophy, I present O'Neill Hall, History.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Congratulations. I think they want you to stand close to me for the photograph. Come.
From the Mona campus, sir, for the Doctor of Philosophy, I present Joseph Mackenzie, Teacher Education.
I recognize your advancement in our society.
Corey Williamson, Education.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Congratulations.
Kishi Anderson Leachman with high commendation, Educational Psychology.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Congratulations. Well done.
Rohan Makala with high commendation, Educational Psychology.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Well done.
Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you.
Denise Tony James with high commendation, Education.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Congratulations. Well done. I now call on the President of the UWI Alumni Association Jamaica Chapter, Mr. Dwayne Haynes, to lead the graduates in reciting the Alumni Pledge.
Good afternoon to you all. It is my distinct pleasure to invite the graduating class of 2022 to stand and recite together the UWI Alumni Pledge, which can be found on page 98 of the graduation program. Whilst you locate the pledge, I would like to officially welcome you to the UWI alumni family. I invite you to become engaged alumni who show Pelican pride and are involved in the life of the campus as guest speakers, supporters of sport and hall events, mentors, recruiters, promoters and advocates of the university, and much more. Let us now begin to say the pledge together. As a graduate of the University of the West Indies, I commit myself to uphold the ideals and goals of my alma mater. My conduct and voice shall reflect the commitment to excellence of a light rising from the West. As I fulfill my social and professional responsibilities and serve my community and region, I will strive to ensure the UWI's place as a Caribbean icon, the catalyst for Caribbean development and leadership. It is a legacy that I will help proudly build for future generations. The UWI, first in our hearts and first in our region. Heartiest congratulations to you all.
We will now sing the university song, which is on page 99 of the program. brings to an end the public ceremony by which the University of the West Indies has signaled the award of degrees, diplomas, and certificates to its graduates. But before we disperse, I have a favor to ask of you. As a parent, as a friend, as family of many people who have graduated over the years, I know that this day is as special to your parents, to your family, to your friends, as it is to you. So I want you to turn to the back of the hall, and I want to give you to give them the most enormous round of applause. Class of 2022, this brings your graduation celebration to an end. But I'd like you to allow me and our specially invited guest and the platform party to leave before you disperse. And I wish you all a most wonderful and productive life. You deserve it.
Thank you.